Well, hello to you too! Super Mario Party is an insanely cute party game that's all about rolling the dice and getting lucky. This game is wonderfully charming and fun, but has a couple features that dumb it down just a little bit too much in my opinion. Super Mario Party follows in the footsteps of its predecessors and is a wild and wacky board game adventure full of unexpected twists and mini-games galore. It's not perfect, but it's a step in the right direction, which is nice to see after some of the previous entries. Fun fact, this game was also loaned to me by someone I know, so shout out to that f***ing legend. And after playing this game for the week, I have some things I want to say about it. I go by Capture Reviews, and these are my thoughts on Super Mario Party. And this is just a party game, so this video will have no spoilers ahead. Alright, there's no real story to this game, so let's just jump right into the gameplay. But first, we need some players, and guys, I have friends. Yeah. Super Mario Party follows the same formula as the older entries, but with a little more content added to spice things up. Or make it way too f***ing easy, but hey, who am I to judge? Nintendo finally did away with the shared cart function of Mario Party 9 and 10. Yes, and let everyone stretch their legs and run around rolling their own dice. If you haven't played Mario Party before, essentially you'll roll the dice, collect coins, save enough coins to earn stars, play a minigame in between turns, and repeat that process. The game will also try and trip you up and throw some random things at you to keep things interesting. Then at the end, random stars are given to certain players just to f*** your day up, and a winner is decided from there. But new to this game is the addition of character-specific dice blocks. Each character in this game has their own unique dice block that can be used in lieu of the standard one in order to take some risks and potentially hit it big. F*** you guys, watch this, here comes a 7! This feature is fun and a great new take on rolling the dice, but there's just something about this that feels wrong to me, so I never use it. Maybe I'm a purist, or I just hate fun, so I'll leave it up to you. In all seriousness though, this is a great concept and can bring a lot of chance and excitement to the game, which I very much appreciate. However, there is also the issue that these special dice blocks are locked to a character. So if you want to use Wario's special all or nothing block, you have to be Wario. This does kind of suck, because I'd much rather choose a block to use with my character. Bowser Jr. deserves better, damn it! But probably the newest and bullshittiest feature of this game is the ability to summon allies. If you happen to land on one of these spaces, you'll earn yourself a nice little helper. These characters give you a special die to use, which is nice, but it's random which character you'll get. And on top of this, your allies always roll and will give you an extra 1 or 2 spaces. So even though an ally's block is advertised as perfect for rolling a 4, guess what? Your ally is still gonna roll a 1 or a 2 and ruin your roll. Why? This is a happy place. I'm in my happy place. I'm on a beach. I'm happy. Okay. This is a double-edged sword and can be very annoying at times. Like here, I wouldn't have gotten the star if it weren't for Daisy, but just the turn before, I also would have gotten an additional ally if it weren't for her role. Allies are fun and all and can spice things up, but they just seem to be too much for this game. They'll either slow you down at times or make you very overpowered. You can even get multiple allies in one game, which is just ridiculous, Peach. Slow the f*** down! I wish allies were an optional feature from the start for less experienced players and weren't given out at random, because they can become game-breaking very quickly. If an experienced Mario Party fan gets a hold of 1 or 2 allies, it can really ruin the fun for the less experienced players. Like in the minigames, you could potentially have an absurdly unfair advantage doing whatever the game asks you to do, and that's not fun. Also, I don't mean to brag, but I'm quite experienced in these games, so I usually win every minigame no matter f***ing shit. Speaking of the minigames though, there are tons of enjoyable games to play to break up each turn. This is one of the brighter sides of Super Mario Party. These minigames do not disappoint and make some great use of the Switch's features like HD Rumble, but are also just downright fun. One of my favorite minigames is remembering when your controller vibrates the most and then pressing A. Not only does it use the HD Rumble, but it also requires some skill and memory to master it, which is very cool. Of course, there are plenty more minigames, and each one was an absolute joy for me, so they alone get a 10 in my book. Oh, and don't forget to high five at the end of some of these games for free coins. Ready? Yeah! Okay. There really isn't much else to talk about here. This is a classic Mario Party game with a few new flashy tricks thrown in. It's a wonderful thing that this series has gone back to its roots, but this game just feels a tiny bit off. Don't get me wrong, this is not a bad game by any means. I mean, it's fucking Mario Party. Who doesn't love breaking a controller because Yoshi stole your fucking coins, you fucking ass, Yoshi? I'm sorry. It's been a long week. But there are some things in this game that make it just a bit too easy. Sure, it is a family-friendly party game, but there's too many things like the random gold blocks and coins for high-fiving that take away from the other things like minigames. Losing a minigame used to be a terrible thing in the older Mario Party games, but now it's no sweat because you'll probably get some coins anyway through some other event. Oh, hey, you moved 4 spaces. Here you go, Jimmy. Have a handful of coins for the fuck of it. And in the older games, it was a standard board game experience, but with wacky boards. You had power-ups you could buy every now and then to mess up the board even further, but for the most part, you had to work around the board and its craziness. Maybe the board moves, or maybe the board changes between day and night. Maybe I want to strangle Waluigi for fucking blowing me up. A lot of anger coming out in this episode. Lots of anger. But that's not exactly the case here. All the boards kind of feel dull and weak in comparison to the older entries, and it seems like Nintendo wanted to up the ante, so they added more wackiness in the new allies, the dice blocks, and high fives to let you work against the board. But, in my opinion, that's not what Mario Party is about, and it sometimes becomes way too easy and just not as fun. I think Nintendo should have invested more into the boards themselves and made them more treacherous for us partiers. I like the feeling of being just plain old Mario working with the environment to get a star, because that uncertainty and sometimes unfairness made Mario Party the ultimate controller throwing experience and so much fun. But now, having a bunch of allies and freebie coins given to me just doesn't feel right. I feel like a fraud. And on top of this, there's only 4 boards to choose from in this game, which is a real bummer. But even with these things in mind, I still had fun with this game and I just can't stay mad at it. I'll put it like this. At its core, the Mario Party formula is amazing and is fun no matter what. So while this game does have some added features that I think are bullshit, they still can't take away from that core, so I still thoroughly enjoyed my time with this game. It's not perfect, but it's still an amusing game to play with friends or alone. And I will say, thank God we aren't in a fucking car. For fuck's sake, what were you thinking, Nintendo? There's also multiple very fun minigame modes for those who like to just mess around, and Partner Party. Partner Party is a great team-based take on the Mario Party experience, and really has that original competitive yet wacky feel the older Mario Parties had, which makes me excited for the future entries. It's all about working with your partner and collecting coins as you traverse the boards that have seen a massive makeover. I didn't mess around with that mode too much, but from what I did try, I had a lot of fun and I recommend you check it out yourself.
Winner!
Visually, Super Mario Party is quite the spiffy looking game. The character models are all very well done and detailed, and each board is full of creativity. Seeing Nintendo's characters in HD is such a nice thing, and this game is a gorgeous and cartoony experience that I absolutely loved. This is one of those games that's worth checking out for the graphics alone. Nintendo always makes their party games like Mario Kart and Mario Party look flashy and fun, and they did not miss that mark here. This game is wonderfully bright and vibrant, which makes it so inviting and so attractive. The music in this game is so funky and so upbeat, and I love every single song in it. The minigame menu music is one that's worth noting. It's so friendly sounding, but at the same time, you know shit's about to go down right after this. And of course, the title theme itself is an absolute banger with its pumped up jazz sound that really gets you ready to party. These kinds of songs bring a lot of personality to this already vibrant game, which is always a great thing to see. So, is Super Mario Party worth buying? You know what? Yeah, I think it is. This is the only Mario Party that we currently have on the Switch, but if the only game we had weren't up to the quality of this game, then I'd say wait for the next installment. This game is beautiful and incredibly well made, with some interesting takes on certain parts of the game. Not every change and new feature was my favorite, but that's just my opinion, so you yourself might love it. The unique dice blocks is a great concept and can be quite the game changer, and the little features like high-fiving your teammates help immerse you into this party experience. Sure, allies aren't my favorite addition and I wish the boards had more to offer, but like I said, it still has that Mario Party core, so no amount of bullshit features will take away from that. It's still wild and fun and can be a great time for you and your friends. So with all of this in mind, I give Super Mario Party a respectable 7.5 out of 10. It's a good game with good concepts and is definitely a step in the right direction, but I still think it needs just a little bit of work. Go check this game out if you haven't already, because I think no matter what, you'll be able to thoroughly enjoy your time with it. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my thoughts on Super Mario Party. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.
Congratulations. Yeah.